Hey there YouTube, this is Vargas XX78 with another Vargas review, or movie vlog. But since I'm calling these Vargas reviews, I think that's what it's going to be. First off, just like with the Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter review, I want to make these video series, reviewing the movies I've seen, and the main thing I still have to apologize is that I live here in Mexico, so in Mexico, movie releases tend to be kind of weird. Sometimes a movie will release the same day that it does in the United States. Other times, like in the case of the Avengers, it might release a week before it does in the United States. Other times, I've had to wait at least like 5 months before, literally, one movie came out on DVD first, and then it came out in the theaters here, so by then it's like, well, what do I do? Do I buy the DVD or do I watch the movie? And most of the times, I'm not gonna lie, I go to see the movie, because I love the movie experience. So sometimes I want to talk about a movie that I saw, and you probably have already seen the review somewhere else, but I like doing these reviews. I like talking about stuff I've seen in the theaters, and I like sharing the movie experience with all of you there. And based on the views and some of the comments, I think you guys have really dug them. So like I said, as long as you keep watching them, I'll keep making them. But the movie that I saw this week with my girlfriend, we went to see Ted, the new movie by Seth Macfarlane. The trailer made it look interesting. It's basically the story about this little boy who didn't have any friends, who no one liked. And one Christmas, he gets a little teddy bear, a stuffed animal, like yay big, as a Christmas present. And he's all happy, and he shares all his moments with the bear. And one day he wishes that the bear would come to life, and the bear does. It starts talking and it starts moving on its own, and the kid's all happy. And it had actually a very, very real moment where the kid's like, "Oh my God, my bear's alive!" And the parents are like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And then all of a sudden the bear comes in, and the mom freaks out like, "Oh my God, what the hell is this?" And the dad's like, "Get my gun!" And the bear says, "Is it a hugging gun?" And they're like, "No, I'm gonna stab it," and everything. And then the kid calms down, and eventually the freaking bear turns into a celebrity, and because that is kind of less plausible. I mean, the reaction with the parents, you'd believe that you see a stuffed animal come to life, you're gonna freak out, but then all of a sudden he becomes a celebrity. First thing that would probably happen in real life is that the government would want to get his hands on to figure out how, or some kind of I don't know, some kind of research facility would want to get their hands on the bear to see why it suddenly came to life, stuff like that. But it's a Seth Macfarlane movie, and it's a movie, so your suspension of disbelief has to stop for a moment there. And so it stars Seth Macfarlane. He does the voice for Teddy, who eventually, when the years pass, it cuts down to Ted. He does the voice of the bear. It also stars Mark Wahlberg and Mila Kunis, which is actually a very good team up, because they actually already worked together in the Max Payne movie. A lot of people hated the Max Payne movie. I kind of liked it. And so they're doing the movie together. And of course Mila Kunis does the voice of Meg in the regular TV show. So, it's another relationship there, because she works with Seth Macfarlane. And I'll be the first to admit, back when she was doing that 70s show, I didn't like Mila Kunis at all. Thinking about it now, it made me realize that it just shows how good of an actress she is, because I really despised the Jackie character. I did not like the Jackie character, but by the last season, somehow she got really hot, and then Mila Kunis was in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and damn, she was like a totally different person. So Mila Kunis right now is one of my favorite actresses that is doing movies right now. She was great in Black Swan. She was great in Max Payne. I liked her in Max Payne. She was great in The Book of Eli, and she's pretty good here. And she's actually a lot hotter in this movie. Basically, like I said, the bear comes to life, but he's still friends with the kid, who grows up to be Mark Wahlberg, and they're still friends. The thing that they do now as adults is that they get high watching old movies, and their favorite movie is Flash Gordon. So we've actually never seen myself, but I've heard the Queen song. They wrote a song that's actually in the movie. So they basically just pass their time getting high and drunk and everything, and he's been dating the Mila Kunis character, Lori, for 4 years, and, you know, she wants him to be more serious, but he's always spending time with his bear, Ted. Eventually, he decides that he has to man up, and he pushes Ted away to be with the love of his life, Lori. But somehow Ted still interferes. He's not doing it on purpose, you know. They're best friends, you know. It's they want to be there for each other and everything. And honestly, what is Ted gonna do? And he tries to get a job, and, you know, he's really alive. He actually does go after human girls, and he does get a girlfriend, even though, you know, what's a stuffed animal gonna do? He's got no junk. But and also there's this creepy guy that's after Ted. He's the villain of the movie. He's after Ted because he saw him as a kid, and he's always wanted a real live talking bear, and he obsessed over him. So now he wants his kid to have him, and his kid's all messed up. So that's the main villain of the movie. This guy that's after Ted. And honestly, I'm surprised not a lot more people are after Ted. Again, just alone, the government or some sort of research facility. I'm sure they would go after the bear just because they wanted to see how the thing works, how the hell does a stuffed animal come to life. But again, that's basically the plot of the movie. That they're trying to the Mark Wahlberg character is trying to be a friend to Ted, but at the same time be a good boyfriend to the Mila Kunis character. And Ted's kind of like stuck in the middle because he doesn't want to lose his best friend again, because obviously, if he loses his friends, what the heck is Ted going to do? And eventually Ted does move out, and he, again, gets a job and a girlfriend, but seriously, it's a stuffed animal. He's kind of... His life options are kind of limited. But, again, it's done by Seth Macfarlane, so the humor is Family Guy-ish. It does have a lot of 80s and even some 90s references, just like the Family Guy show does. It does have some flashbacks. The Family Guy doesn't do it that much anymore, but it does have some flashbacks. And yeah, my girlfriend liked it a little bit more than I did. Again, mostly because I'm not a big fan of Family Guy that much anymore. When it started, it was okay, and then it got really, really good. But lately, the Family Guy seasons haven't been that epic. I've actually stopped watching, and I haven't. Halfway through this last season, I just stopped watching Family Guy because I didn't feel it was that good anymore. So the humor is very Family Guy, but it does have. I will still say it has some really funny moments. It has some really good moments. It has actually a lot of really touching moments between the Mila Kunis character and the Mark Wahlberg character. It has some really good moments between the Ted stuffed animal and the Mark Wahlberg character. And it does have a really good end. The guy that obsesses over Ted kidnaps him. He tries to escape. And the chase scene was actually pretty good. I really liked the chase scene. And then he's trying to escape. He goes into this baseball park. And then, again, he's a stuffed animal, so he's limited to what he's made of. So he starts getting ripped. By the end of the movie, he gets ripped in half, and the Ted character dies. And it's actually a very sad moment. But then Mila Kunis wishes him back to life, and he comes back to life. And actually had a really funny moment, because when he wakes up, he's like going, "Oh, when you were putting me together, you kind of put parts all wrong, but I hope you still love me." And then he's like, "Ah, I got you." That was actually pretty funny. But, so yeah, would I recommend the movie? Definitely. I would recommend the movie. If you're a fan of the Family Guy show, you probably already saw it and you liked it. Again, you probably already saw it because it released in the US before it did here. I'm late to the party and just talking about it. But if you haven't seen it, I'd recommend it. For what it is a good movie. It's not the greatest movie I've seen, but it does have its funny moments. It does have some very good moments. I'm actually surprised that Seth Macfarlane pulled it off, those moments at the end, because they were. My girlfriend actually kind of teared up a bit when the bear got killed, and but I'd recommend it. It's a good movie. It's again, the only flaw is that it's Family Guy humor, and Family Guy humor hasn't been that good in a while. That's the only thing. He relies too much on references. It's the same thing that happens. It does have a lot of really neat appearances. I don't remember their names at the top of my head, but he has the voice. The guy that does the voice for Joe is in the movie, and he turns out to be this gay character that kisses with Ryan Reynolds. I thought that was actually kind of funny. And then I don't remember her name, but the girl that played Supergirl in those 2 seasons of Smallville, she's in it too. And the guy that does the soup, he's in it too. He's always funny. He's a really funny guy. So it was a really funny role he had there. So would I recommend the movie again? Yes. If you haven't seen it, I would definitely recommend you watch it. Like I said, I know first thing that put me off, it is the guy that made Family Guy. And again, I just haven't liked Family Guy in a while. And I'm sorry I keep repeating that, but it's true. It's the formula just isn't there anymore. So that's its main. I don't want to say flaw, but its main weakness is that it relies too much on Family Guy humor. There's a lot of fart jokes too. There's a really out of place fart joke in a restaurant that I didn't like that much, but I would still recommend it. If you haven't watched it, give it a watch. You might not like it. You might love it. You know, it's the thing about movies. They could either surprise you and you will end up loving the movie, or you could watch it and you think it was okay, or you could watch it and think it's a piece of crap. But, you know, it depends on you. I only want to give my 2 cents on the movie, so I would recommend anyone that hasn't seen it go watch it. It is a good movie for what it's worth. The CGI effects on the bear are actually pretty awesome. I mean, I don't think it would take that much to animate a stuffed animal come to life, but they're actually pretty cool. I was really surprised in the technical standpoint at how good the CGI on the bear is. So that was actually pretty awesome, now that I think about it. But the movie's still good. It has solid performances by everyone involved. Mark Wahlberg is pretty good. Mila Kunis, amazing in this movie. She looks really hot in this movie, actually. Again, the guy whose name I can't remember, but the guy that's in the soup, he plays this jerk, and he plays it wonderfully, so he does a good job. Even Seth Macfarlane is able to, you know, convey some good emotions just through his voice. He's actually really good at that. So, yeah. Good movie. Not the best movie I've seen, but a good movie nonetheless. Definitely recommend it. On a scale from 1 to 10, I'd probably give it an 8. It's a solid 8. So again, if you haven't seen it, give it a watch. If you're put off by the same reason I was, that you think it's Family Guy humor, it is, but all in all, it's still a pretty good movie. A decent movie. Solid 8. So that was my 2 cents and my movie review on Ted. Like always, I thank so much for watching. If you disagree or agree with me, please leave a comment. And until I see you all again, this is Vargas XX78, signing off.